The next one is the moral argument. Okay? You can write that in there. The moral proof that God exists. And this is a good argument. I've heard Douglas Wilson, who's a great theologian, debate atheists on the moral argument. Romans 1 uses the moral argument. The law is written in the hearts. We know, right? To murder, you don't have to tell anyone the law's there. Right? Every society knows that you can't take what doesn't belong to you. You can't kill your neighbor. That's the moral argument that God exists. But even with that, I can take you to realms that can disprove that in some ways. Even using evolution, it would be called selective. What's the word? Yeah, the moral argument. We won't kill each other. We have a moral code so that we will save the species, right? So even in the moral argument, it's not foolproof. All of these, I don't believe, are foolproof, except for the ontological argument. And that's the least one that theologians will ever use. I don't know why, but I've studied, Google it when you get home and just read on it. They don't like the ontological argument because it gets into too much philosophy, right? Too much thinking. But if I could put a moral groundwork here, I can put a cosmological framework over here, you see what I mean? Or the physiological structure of the earth. Those are tangible, touchable, feelable things we can quantify and talk about it, and we know morality exists. So, right, these are things there. But the ontological argument, and why it's my favorite, I think, because it is the one that stands at the most, to me, to prove, if you can prove, God exists because you think of God. Yes. They're all there. They manifest. So I know some of you are probably still trying to think of something that doesn't exist, are you? Go ahead. I did this. I followed this train of thought. Not that I'm the end all. I'm just saying. Do you know anything? Yeah. So, Star Wars, you watch it, we relate to it. Why do we relate to it? Because it's people. There's ships, there's beings, we know it all. It may be a galaxy far, far away and not, but it's all made up of stuff that we relate to. So even there, it just falls. You think of God, it shows that God exists. God stamped it into our DNA. It's forever ingrained and etched into our being. And then one more is the psychological proof. And this is the soul will find no rest until it finds God. Augustine said that. St. Augustine said, the soul will find no rest until it finds God. The psychological proof, I don't believe it's the greatest proof either. It is one. Tertullian used it, Augustine, and however you say his name. Yes, there you go. Jackie, you're doing psychology, right? So, yeah. So you could probably relate to this.
Yeah. But I mean, you're right. So just that.
Yeah. The only one I found is foolproof is the ontological one. But like I said, we can't ever prove that God exists and call someone to say, you know what, I think I'm going to believe because you just showed me the way, right? The gospel has to be preached with unction and power. The Spirit has to breathe on it. Jesus has to be manifested. He is through the gospel. And it causes dead men to live again. It causes dead bones to rise as we prophesy to them, right? And Lazarus to come forth out of the tomb. It's only the preaching of the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ that raises dead men to life. So arguments, as fun as they can be, especially when we're right, will never prove or save a man. So you see what I mean? They just don't.